stuff going on here. How are all you people doing this afternoon? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den, it's a place, it's a thing, and a place. It's a place where things happen. Things happen in this place. But no, it is a conversation, a community of wonderful people, hopefully such as yourself who are watching right now. But it's the best conversation on the internet. But some of the best conversation in the Den apparently does not happen on the live streams. It definitely happens in the Discord. It's happening right now in the Discord, goddammit. And so we'll get to that. But I'm glad that you could join me. We're going to talk about what does being attractive really mean. Everybody take care of yourselves. It has been a very, very interesting past couple of days, right? So, let's see who we got joining us, and we're going to get to the conversation, and we will go from there. John from New York, what's the motherfucking deal? Mr. Cultured, a.k.a. the Don of the Discord. Beyond the Funny Wiggle, what's the motherfucking deal? D the Gamma, how are you doing this afternoon, ma'am? Let's see. Footballer 503, what's the motherfucking deal? Unspoken Voices, Inside Media, how are you doing this evening or afternoon? Vince, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi. Terrible person. You're a terrible, terrible person. Let's see. Miss Bell, hope all is well. Shannon. Who? Shannon Jones. Good to see you, Miss Shannon. 12, how are you doing this afternoon? Oh, the Triple OG. Cool Keith in the building. Let's see. Jason S. What's the motherfucking deal? And Mr. Calhoun. Yeah. So, if you're not in there, you're just not in there. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it. But it's been a very interesting turn of events. I tell you guys all the time that if you're not in the Discord, you're probably missing out on, at this point, like 60% of the Den. Because so much additional conversation goes down in the Discord community. I mean, it's significantly more time being spent there than on the stream, but yeah. Take that how you will. So, Discord is definitely not a sausage fest. It's terrible. But I want to talk about being attractive. What does that mean? You know, society pushes this idea. You know, entertainment pushes an idea. I think we have preferences as people. But what does it mean to be attractive? Nowadays, you know, the message is everybody is attractive. Everybody looks good. Everybody's beautiful no matter who you are, what you are. You're beautiful in your own skin. Right? That is not true. It's false. It's a lie. It just is what it is. Some people definitely are more attractive than others. That's just the way it is. And it just is. It is what it is, man. But the cool thing about this is that depending on who it is, you know, your ranking may be higher in some arenas than others. But let's all be realistic. Let's all be super serious about this whole situation, right? I think people adjust their standards according to themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I think people go out and say, I think some people, you know, let me not say that. You know, I guess you have your own merit by which you judge stuff. So it's not always about looks. But, you know, I think people grade other people's looks based on, you know, what they think they are. And so you say, well, we shouldn't be grading other people. We should, yes, the fuck we should. Life would be boring. Like, man, look, if we weren't judgmental and, you know, superficial sometimes, life would be really, really boring. And that would suck, right? So, I mean, come on. If you wouldn't be on social media judging other people's pictures and things like that, I mean, that's being judgmental, right? That's being fucking superficial. And y'all like doing that shit. So we all do it. We we enjoy it. So there are universal human traits that 94% of people are going to agree upon. But there's going to always be those people who just, probably contrarian, are just going to just say, no, no way. And we can get into what and why. But I think overall, and again, I don't know what you would say average size, right? But I think there's a scale for size, weight, height, proportion for everybody that people are attracted to. I'm pretty sure 99% of the time, more muscular, athletic guys are going to win out over chubbier, in shape guys. People are going to say, "Oh, no, not me." It's going to tend to be a little on the plus side, close to the more athletic side, and vice versa. I think it's the same way. Because think about, I don't think I've ever seen a chick who's like a fitness chick be with a guy who's not in shape, right? So I've seen otherwise, like I've seen it the other way around, but I've seen guys who are like fitness guys not be with chicks who are not in shape. But I've never seen it the other way around. At 13, I'm definitely not winning. So, lucky number 13. But, so like I say, we all going to look at stuff differently, I think, based on, how we view the world, based on our own experiences, based on our own perspective. But I think, like I said, there's underlying things we're going to look at, certain traits that we associate with health, with the ability to procreate, right? And some of these things would probably be physically, sexually attractive based. You know what I'm saying? So I think these are things that are pretty universal. Guys like tits. That's just, it is what it is. Some guys are ass men, got them wide birthing hips. Some people are that. Like I said, it just depends on what you're into. Some people like really slim women. If that's what you're into, I guess that's a thing. That's terrible. You're a terrible person, Heidi. You're objectifying men right now. And I don't think your fellow feminists would agree with your behavior right now. So again, I think it matters. So again, like I said, when it comes to attractiveness, the physical aspect can vary, right? It can definitely vary. But really what I want to get to when I talk about attractiveness, it has nothing to do with physical. Because you can fake the physical. Motherfuckers go and get fake asses and fake tits. And I think it's disgusting, but some people like it, right? Some people are with it. Hey, whatever makes them feel better. I don't know. That seems just weird. Anyway, they go get fake body parts. There's men out there getting fake muscles. They have fake calves and fake biceps. And it looks disgusting. It looks real weird. But hey, if they're happy with themselves, right? Y'all seen the fucking, who is like the Asian dude, just like the Ken doll or some shit like that? Yeah, he looks really crazy. It's all weird. Like, people are weird. Like, I don't understand how these people work. Like, there was that one chick who went and got like the biggest titties in the world. And I think she was German or something. Then she went and got like pigment injections to like turn black and then fuck, like... Oh my God, I just thought about it. I can't wait. It's all the turmoil that's about to come. Anyway, so so she got injections and she started turning black, and just like I say, people are, if you're unhappy with something about yourself, you can change it. You got the motherfuckers out there in Jamaica using all the cake soap, erasing the melanin, the pigment in their skins. So it's just like, it's just a situation where physically it's really up to you. You can say what you want to, but who really gets to determine the scale? Like I said, I think there are subconscious things that you're going to that are going to hold weight on your own personal scale. But also I think people's view of themselves is the biggest thing with that. But when it comes to attractiveness, I think there is a factor that we tend to not look at, but it's kind of obscure. And we had a conversation about this in a different way some months back, I believe in the Discord. But you talk about personality, right? And how can personality make someone more attractive? I definitely know that I've seen a person's personality ruin perception that you have of it. You can see somebody physically, but oh, they're attractive. You would want to hump on them like a rabbit dog. Do rabbit dogs hump, or they just bite and fuck people up? Right? I don't know, but you would want to get it in. All the physical feelings and things, and then you interact with them for a couple of minutes. You just say, hey, "This is a trash person. This is a fucking." This is a trash person. I don't want to fucking deal with this. But like all the shit that you were interested in gets thrown out the window, and you just see like kind of a disgust inside of this person's personality, or just whatever behavior is that's just unacceptable and unattractive. So I think that that's something that needs to be taken into account, because I think a lot of people nowadays focus on the physical. When I don't think that matters as much anymore. Like people still complain about it, but again, what most people want now is their body type or their appearance or whatever to be considered mainstream. But in reality, there's a group of people who like you for who you are. Being mainstream is kind of a stupid thing to want to be like. Again, it's just being unhappy with yourself because you want more people to give you attention or whatever it may be. But I don't think the physical matters as much anymore, because you got fucking think about it, you got all kind of groups for everything on the internet, so you can find whatever it is that you're looking for. But how you interact with people matters, because again, being physically attractive can bring a person in, but if you want to keep that attractiveness, it matters. Your personality does matter in some form or fashion. But I think most women these days have a misguided focus. And I think there's dudes too, because I think dudes have it kind of backwards. And what I mean by that is, remember when Kanye said, "You don't got your bitch, Instagram got your bitch." She fucking puts her pictures on Instagram before anything else. Why? Because that's where most of the attention is going. A lot of women have become extremely shallow, and putting up these filtered versions of their lives. They're more concerned with the image than the reality of their lifestyles. But this somehow affords them the attention that they want. But where I say the guys, though, the guys are bad because you know this, but yet a lot of men still support this behavior. And as long as it's working for them, then why would they stop doing it, right? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they continue to engage in this despicable behavior? And so now you have a society with more and more people being focused on the shallow things. Man, well, fuck it. Bitch shallow, she's dense. They just want to fuck anyway. They don't really care about what she's talking about. But she ain't got shit to talk about no way. I guess it's a win-win. But we get this problem because people are focused on the superficial. They're not worried about being better people. They're more concerned with appearing to be better in some light, when in reality, they lack a lot of substance. They lack anything worthwhile to keep around. But again, it's all about a look. As long as we look like something, that's all that matters nowadays. And again, I don't know. Who do you blame? Do you blame individuals for being shallow, or do you blame others for rewarding the shallow-minded behavior? And what can you do to change this? Like, is there a way that you can reward people? And again, I don't want to say reward, but because people are rewarded for being shallow, like I said, all the Instagrams, all the bullshit, attention and all that other stuff. But how do you, what benefits are there to having a good personality? What real benefits do you get outside of the intimate interactions? You know what I mean? The shallow shit gets you hundreds and thousands of likes, right? But when you get down on some real shit, nobody really cares you don't get the same response to those kind of things. So, curious to know what you think. Tony Trejo, what's the motherfucking deal? Say men need women to enhance their ideas. What y'all talking about? Let me get back in the chat. Well, that's what it is, See, we knew Heidi was a gold digger. I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but Let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. There's a lot going on, but let's open up the line. Let me. Okay, I'm going to be better at that. But before I get into this, yes, there has been an interesting situation that has taken place. And you guys definitely, after the stream, need to make sure you're a part of the Discord. It's where the magic happens. Excuse me. Oh, and I forgot to put it up here. Because I'm on a campaign. I'm going to start switching the fucking den up, right? I've been saying it. I want to do it. I'm going to start a goal. We're going to get a couch in here. Or not a couch, but a love seat. But that's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe one of them little theater seats. I'm kind of stuck between that. Because get another fucking chair. I want to kind of change the whole layout of the den, honestly. Like, I want it to look more like a fucking den. So, there's that. Give me a second while I'm pulling all that shit up. And, like I said, get out the fucking chair. Because I fucking ruined all these chairs. It doesn't matter what fucking chair I get, end up ruining it. You got a fucking recliner and sit back and have a mug of fucking eggnog. There we go. And we'll talk about issues, all the issues that we relate to as den folk in today's society. Everything is good. Everything's good to go. Almost. All right. So today, as when you call in, we take some calls. I want to know your thoughts. What is attractiveness in your opinion? What does it really mean? Is it more important to be physically attractive in your opinion than it is to be maybe having an attractive, quote unquote, personality? What matters more, And then the thing is, because it's obvious, we all see that society is becoming more and more shallow. Do you think it's possible to revert away from that to where people become genuinely more interested in one another? Or do you think it continues to get worse? I guess it helps if I put the deadline number up here also, right? Right there, 855-948-0369. And if you missed it, I did drop a video earlier about the Jonathan Price situation, which I find very weird, right? What you overvalue intelligence? Cup. What? What's your terrible personality? Your science is wrong. But like I said, I forgot what I was saying. Because Heidi's a terrible person and distracted me. That what happens? Like, how do we change this thing? How do we get away from I'm sorry, actually I was talking about the Jonathan Price thing. And how that situation happened. I was going to talk about that earlier, but I said we're going to change the tune of some of the conversations around here. We're going to get back to the real den conversations. We got to get back to that style of topic. Not all the way back to cushioning, because some of those were fucking off the wall and those were weird. But we definitely got to get back to that conversation, making it what it is. Like, people should feel comfortable speaking how they feel, right? But just make sure we keep things in context. I'll just leave it at that. Drinking on the clock. I'll definitely drink on the clock. I bet you won't. How about that, Asma? I bet you won't do it. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
Did I do that?
Mr. John, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? Let me put on my stuff on, boys. Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Okay. All right. And so, Mr. John, you sir. I don't know. We'll talk about that another time. But what do you think about attractiveness? What do you think makes someone more attractive? Is it physical? Is it personality? Is it a bit of both? What do you think?
All right. So I'll speak for myself. I won't speak for everyone else. Well, the first thing you notice is someone's physical appearance. You're gonna notice, their body shape, their face, how if they're well put together according to your standards. So that's the first thing you're gonna notice. And then once you talk to the person, then you'll realize if they're a fucking airhead or not. So I would say that both matter, but you're going to see something first before hear it, unless you're meeting people over some kind of fucking dating hotline. But that's just the way it is. I say both matter. One can destroy the other. Somebody could be really attractive. You have like a beautiful woman who's a 10, and then you start talking to her and you realize, she's a stripper, she's an airhead, she smokes and drinks and does drugs. She got 3 kids from 3 different men, blah, blah. And then you could just like, okay, I don't care if she's a 10, like, get this bad news out of my life. Or it could be the other way around. She might be maybe like only a 6 instead of a 10, but she cooks, she cleans, she does laundry, she's submissive, she's intelligent, she likes to have good conversation. When things don't go right, instead of picking a fight to win, she has a conversation with you how to make things better. She's, so I mean, like, there are things that can sway the point scale system in either direction based on personality and look. So, it works both ways. And I think on Instagram and social media and stuff, when we look at somebody, we look at them as their pictures, and maybe it's even a little bit more of a fetish, a lot of, women on, not a lot, but there's quite a number of women online that all they do is they post pictures of their butt in a thong.
Correct.
So, I think it's cool. It's like I'm looking at that for that reason. I don't look at this person as someone that, is an intellect, is a scholar that I can learn something from, or someone that I don't have a relationship with, or someone I want to bring home to mom. She fits a certain role in my life, which is maybe a fetish or just sex. So I think, going back to what I initially said, everyone has a different opinion of what's good or what's attractive. And something I'd like to add is, if you go out in public, whether you go to the supermarket, the department store, whatever, a concert, wherever you go, you're going to see that most people are not supermodels, whether they're men or women, and most people aren't dating a supermodel-looking person. Most people are average Joes and Janes, and they're dating average Joes and Janes. So beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder, and, people might desire something, but the reality is, at the end of the day, personality does win out, as well as resources, because most people are not dating somebody that is out of their league.
So have you ever kind of went against your first mind? Like you said, sometimes you see a 10 and you realize they're a disaster, and you clear out of there. But have you ever gone against your reasonable thoughts and said, hey, fuck it, just this one time, knowing that you were getting into a bad situation?
Yeah, I've actually done it a couple times. And I made sure that I wear 3 condoms. I doubled up on the cock and put one on the balls. Made sure I had the Plan B pill right there on the nightstand. So, yeah, I've done it. I've done it in my younger years. And that's actually something I was thinking about when I saw the topic for the video, because I started thinking, about like, reality is the reason why more and more people are acting or behaving or showing themselves in a way that, wouldn't be wouldn't be acceptable 50 years ago. I think a lot of it has to do with, people just don't care anymore. People's standards are changing. And I think also you're giving these people attention. Social media has allowed Kim Kardashian to get online, post pictures of her ass and in a bikini, which isn't even real. It's not even like she doesn't have a real body, and get 100 million followers and gas her head up. And then you have other people, other young women that might not have a good female role model in their life, look at that and say, "Hey, I want all that attention. Let me do it too." And then you have young men that are like, "Ooh, I like this," and then they get into the habit and they fall into that trap of thinking that's what women should look like, or that's how women should act, and that's the new normal. I feel that if men, specifically men, stopped giving these type of women attention, like don't even give them just sex. Like, I don't want you in my life. I'm not having just sex with you. I'm not dating you. I don't want you to be my friend. I feel like if women and men realize that behaving a certain way would get them no play, they would stop and change. But I know speaking for men, we're not that unified, so that's never going to happen.
We will abort the mission, abandon ship with the quickness, given the right opportunity. Some of us, at least. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I agree, though. The standards have dropped across the board, and it used to be, I guess, keeping up with the Joneses. Now, I don't know what you'd say if you're about for a reference to lowering the standards, but it's I don't know. It's a shame, and again, I find it highly unfortunate, and I think that it's only going to lead to crazier relationships in the long run. But what do you think? Do you think that people now who may, like you said, how the behaviors have changed, but do you think people now, or the standard of what was considered beauty has changed, or do you think it's still relatively the same, but people just have different outlets for, like you said, their kind of fetishized things that they like?
I think that things have come more to the mainstream than necessarily have changed. I feel like there's always been plus-size people. There's always been very skinny people. There's always been like average BMI people. People always liked what they liked. And I feel now it's just being more pushed into the mainstream with social media. Maybe it's more acceptable to put it on TV, but it's always been out there. Like, people have always been complaining that on the catwalk with supermodels and fashion designers, that they've always used people that are too skinny and not realistic. That's always been a complaint, even 30 years ago. So I think things are still the same. People just certain things are getting more attention now because the people through social media are able to point it out and share it with one another. Versus, there was no internet 50 years ago, 40 years ago. There was no text messaging, social media, et cetera. But I think it's always going to be the same. People like what they like, and as new trends develop, there's going to be people that are like, "Cool, I want to be down with that," and people are going to say, "That's fucking bullshit. I don't want to be down with that." But I do think people really underestimate what a good personality and a good moral character can do for you in terms of having someone find you attractive. Because, for example, I'm a man. I can go out and buy the fanciest car, the fanciest suit. I could spend the most amount of money when I'm out. But at the end of the day, that's what helps me catch the woman. But once I have her, if I don't spend as much money on her, if I stop spending money on her, and then she realizes that my character is I'm a cheater, I don't provide any stimulating conversation, I'm not romantic, blah 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 blah, she's gonna get bored of me and she's gonna monkey branch onto the next guy. So again, it's great to be a perfect 10 on the beauty scale, but at the end of the day, that's what gets your foot in the door. And who you are as a person on the inside is what keeps someone interested. Beauty fades. Intellect doesn't. There's a comedian, I forgot what his name was, but he's always walking around with a glass of scotch. He was on that tour with, you're a redneck if you, I forgot what his name was.
Ron White?
Yes, something like that. Yes, what I was thinking. He had this joke where he was like, he was like, you should really marry a woman who is wise and smart, because beauty fades. You can get an operation to fix sagging boobs, you can get an operation to fix sagging butts, you can get an operation to tuck in your stomach, but there's no operation to fix stupid. So they're like, find someone who stimulates your mind, because that's who you get to live with for the rest of your life. And I think it's true. You can't fix stupid. So, Beyonce might be nice to look at, but when she starts talking back to you and doesn't want to cook you a meal and, and starts cheating on you and doesn't clean up around the house, you're going to be like, well, what good is this bitch? She's only good for sex. And then you're going to, and then, and the same thing can go for women towards men. So who you are on the inside will keep someone around. Who you are on the outside will initially attract them for a short period of time.
Definitely agree. Then they go both hand in hand. Hey, and if you got both of them, we'll enjoy having best of the both worlds. And yeah, no, not Julian from Trailer Park Boys. I thought about that too at first when he said walking around with the glass of scotch in his hand, because he always walked around with that fucking. He always had that fucking drink, no matter if he was in jail or whatever. He always had that fucking drink. Shit was crazy. Okay. Right.
What are your feelings? On what does it mean to be attractive? Or your thoughts, I should say.
I think we're in a world at this point where anything goes. Like, I think people, are actually wasting way too much time worrying about that. Like, because I don't know. It's just like we got more and more superficial when we're at this point where you would hope that we would be reaching maybe peak intelligence. We seem to be dumbing down and worrying about things that we know don't matter. I think instead of really trying, like you said, finding somebody who matches you mentally, I think we should be using avenues for that. But now we're more so, like, you got the swiping apps of the world where, first thing you're basing everything off is what this person looks like. So I think attractiveness is cool. Of course, you don't want to get it on the fucking troll, but shit. You want to connect with somebody if you're thinking long term. Now, if you're just thinking about a bunch of short term adventures, then well, it's fair game.
Yeah, and this whole thing with, like, swiping right or left, and everyone going on social media trying to paint a certain look, which is usually done through cosmetic surgeries. In my opinion, it's going to hurt women a lot more than it hurts men, because, like, for instance, like, over the last, say, 10 years, I've literally met girls, and then when I talk to them on the phone, they would be proud to tell me that they don't know how to cook. And I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Like, that's what I want to hear. First of all, I know how to cook, and I cook 6 days a week. How do you live? So you spend money for takeout every time? Like, what do you eat, ramen noodles every night? What do you do to live? Like, secondly, like, you think that if I got into a relationship, I'd want you to be the mother of my child. What are you going to feed him? Tuna fish and Vienna sausages out of a can every fucking day? Oh, well, I would learn to cook. Bullshit. You can learn to cook now. You know what? I'll start being a gentleman after we have the kid. How about that? You wouldn't accept that. So it's just like, it's going to benefit men more, because men are more okay with just having sex and not the relationship. Women want the relationship too. So, as women start to behave more like men, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't gotta cook and clean, I gotta ring it, I don't cook and clean, womp womp. So the whole thing is men are gonna be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna use you for sex. Well, okay, so we have a kid. I'm not gonna marry you. I'll just pay the child support if I have to. All right, like, it's gonna benefit men more in the long run than women. So, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, so without getting too deep into it, what did I start in the Discord?
Oh man, it was just a chain of events from that last stream, which I felt were some things were misinterpreted, and
of course,
don't
lie on me if you ain't reach out and touch me.
It just started a lot of energy going back and forth. And yeah, so the conversation might still be going on right now as we speak. Let me just. Man.
Yeah, but Heidi said I'm 47 and never married, but I look good for 47. I make 47 look great.
The conversation is still taking place as we speak. So I have no
Are
idea
you serious?
what you're saying. And it's not necessarily about you. I think that led into. I think from one of the comments from your call, it got someone a little wired up, and then that sparked their call, which sparked another call, which sparked some energy, and. Yeah, so I'm telling y'all are missing out on a huge portion of the den if you are not active in the Discord. Yeah.
I just figured, you know what? I just figured I'd do what a typical white supremacist does, which is start a fight amongst black people and then just run away and let y'all deal with it. That's what I figured I'd do with it.
That's what you got to do, man. I'm just gonna say I've learned a lot over the last couple of days. I have been educated. I have been educated. Vince, he says it's crazy. It's still crazy right now. It's crazy at this very moment. So, yeah.
And I just want to say before I go, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I know people want to call in. I want to try and do better at not taking up so much time. I just want to say that I love black people. Black people are amazing. God bless black people. I love everyone, and we should all try and treat everyone equally, and that also includes telling the equal amount of truth about each other.
Yeah.
And I really feel like conversation is the key to peace. So God bless everybody out there. Go watch Honcho's new commentary video he just put out about the guy from Texas. I think his name is like Jonathan Price or something like that.
Yes.
Go watch that. Derek Chauvin was just released on bail, so he's out. They said the juice is loose. Chauvin is loose now.
And how much was his bail?
They said that he said it was a bond. I don't know how it works, but something like he posted 10% of the 1.25 million, so he posted $125,000.
Man, that's crazy.
But see, the thing is, I'm confused. I'm confused because in Minnesota, I read that you can't charge more than 10% of the bond, of the bail bond. So there was two of them. The one was 1.25 million, which was unconditional, which I would guess it would mean he can retain his gun permits, his firearms, and whatever while he's out on bail. And the other one was for $1 million, but he had to give up his guns, his permits, and other restrictions. So he posted $125,000 in cash to meet the bond, which would equate to the 1.25 million unconditional version. But everyone's saying that he posted the $1 million bond. The math doesn't add up. Because honestly, if he doesn't have a gun, I would tell him he's safer in jail right now. Because he's a dead man walking. People want to kill him, you know?
Yeah, it's just, especially out there, you definitely want to be, I tell you, might have been safer locked up. Yes, that's unfortunate. I don't know. I have to look into that, man, because I had no idea about that. That's wild. That, because I'm looking at that now, and then another guy, like I say, in the video that I just posted, he had $1 million bond, and he got out with the next day or something like that. What kind of resources this guy have that this other guy doesn't? I mean, good grief.
But then again, I mean, Zimmerman's still walking around, and he's been in every single rap song about being touched, and he's just fine. So who knows?
Yeah, some of the rappers said they put 100,000 on Zimmerman or something. I said, well, I don't think. He's still walking.
But anyway, let me get off this phone. I love everybody. God bless you. Stay safe. Vote in November like your life depends on it. More peace, less hate. God bless you. Goodbye, Honcho. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, Mr. John. Thank you for calling. Bad and Bougie. How are you this afternoon? What's the motherfucker who we got calling into the den this afternoon?
Well, Honcho, you know my voice, but I'm just going to say it's anonymous. Anybody that's a part of the assault knows this voice. But this is my first time calling into the den. So what I was going to say is I find your topic intriguing because the word attraction really is on the eye of the beholder. Because a woman finds a man attractive for different things. a woman could find a man attractive for his personality, like it's been discussed before, or some of them are superficial and they like body types and stuff. It just depends on who and what they like when it comes to being attractive. When it comes to a guy, a lot of guys, including myself, find a woman very attractive by the way she looks. But, that's what starts the initial attraction. But to keep the attraction going, you have to find a deeper attraction, not just a attraction just on the physical sense. You've got to find an attraction that is a meaningful attraction if you want to stay with that person. So, like another caller had said before, yeah, you can make yourself a lot more beautiful than what you feel yourself is and everything. But when it all comes down to brass tacks, when you all get older, are you still going to find that person attractive when they do have saggy boobs, when you're wrinkly, when all that? Are you going to find them attractive? It all depends on, how deep that attraction goes. You can have that initial attraction, but you got to find an attraction that is deep in you.
So, Mr. Anonymous, are you in a relationship yourself?
Say again?
I said, are you in a relationship yourself, Mr. Anonymous?
Yes, I am.
So, in the relationship you're in, was it a level of attractiveness that first got you interested, or was
the attractiveness that was for me in my relationship, and we just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary. So the initial attraction for her was again the look and everything, but you have to find attraction that is deep down in there. And the thing is that I found an attraction with her because I have a connection with her going all the way back to elementary school. I have a connection back with junior high school. I have a connection with her. We're best friends and everything. So that is a deeper attraction than just, oh, hey, I like what you look like. Let's get together and, whatever. It's more to it than that. You've got to find that happy medium that y'all both are attracted to one another because of a certain reason. And it can start as a physical thing, but you want it to turn into something more. You want it to turn into something that, something that molds into a longer attraction for them, that you can still get turned on by them. You can still get excited when they do certain things because that attractiveness is there, and it's a longing attractiveness. It's not one that just is just for a couple years and then it goes away. If that makes sense.
Oh, definitely good. So I see someone in the chat saying, 10 years, they're getting out of 3. What advice would you give somebody if you were to, maybe offer a personal suggestion? What's something that helps keep the attractiveness to one another stimulated? Well,
my honest opinion, and what has worked for me, is that you do things to re-energize the marriage or the relationship ever so often. I'd say maybe once or twice a month, you do something to energize the relationship. Like you go out on a date, or let's say you and her, or you and him, y'all get a hotel room together. Could be in town, but y'all get a hotel room together and act like it's just a special occasion that y'all are focused on one another, and trying to figure out, where all this is going to go. It doesn't matter if you've been married or in a relationship for a few months, or you've been in there as long as I have or longer, 10 years. All right. The way you keep it up is you got to keep that spice, that fire, because once you let that fire go out, it's very, very hard to get that fire back.
I agree. That can be very difficult. Okay. I have no.
Well,
any other things that you?
One thing I would say, if the person that you're attracted to, and they're attracted to you back, all right, if y'all are in a new relationship and you feel like that this person is the one that you're gonna want to marry, even if you haven't popped the question, but it feels like that's the one you want to marry, the one advice I would give you is try to live with that person 24/7, 365, one entire year before you get married, so you can understand if some of their kinks, some of what you found attractive to them about them is going to continue that spark, is going to continue that longing to be with that person. After a year's up and you've been with them 24/7, you will know then for sure, without a doubt, yes, I definitely want to be with this person the rest of my life. That's who I find attractive. It's who I want to. Well, I see myself 10, 11, 12, 30, 40 years down the road. That's who I see myself with. That to me, that's what you want to do. That's how you keep it up. That's how you keep the marriage and you keep the relationship going.
Keep it spicy. All right. And do things in your relationship to actively keep it fresh. That's some advice for some of you young bucks out there in the game. I might have to use it myself one day. But okay. So I don't think I have any further questions. Anything else that you would like to add to that?
Nope, just glad to have me on there for the den for the first time. I appreciate you taking the call.
All right, well, Mr. Anonymous, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your experience with us today.
You have a good one too there, Honcho.
All right, thanks, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
What up? Who's Asmel?
Asmel, what's on your mind, sir? What are your thoughts on attractiveness in modern society?
I tell my wife this all the time, but she don't fucking believe it. And I think it's just because, men have a stigma of all being dogs and probably looking at tits and ass before anything else. But for me, it's always been someone's smile, whether it's them smiling at me directly or the way that they smile around other people. Like, it has to be a captivating smile. It has to be one where, like, I'm breaking my neck to be like, oh, shit. Like, I just saw something that really caught my attention. And it's always been that way for me. If I looked at any person I actually been in a long relationship with, it always was that. But then with the dating process, I've had different, like, people. I've had people, like, that were mentally dumb as hell. And for a while, that's okay. Because I guess someone being impressed with you, it kind of lasts for a little bit. It kind of strokes your ego for a little bit, but then it gets old, right? Like, because eventually when you start looking at wanting to build together, I think that's really when you start to really decide on a person. Like, is this person worth building something with, or is this person going to pull an O'Brien on me and fucking destroy everything I fucking built? Yeah. So that's really what it really ends up coming down to. So it's got to be some beauty. Obviously, you got to be captivated with this person, because if not, I've had the opposite where I've dated somebody that's like, they're all right, but I'm not like, I'm not obsessed with them in any type of way. And, they've been mentally there, but at the same time, it's like I still don't find that physical attraction to the extent that I would want it to. And so it ends up becoming something that's like awkward for me. Like, I don't know. Those relationships that I've had where the beauty probably wasn't to the level that I wanted it to be, those have been probably my most awkward breakups, because it's been like, how do I tell this person that it's pretty much over with, or I don't want to continue anywhere with it, but at the same time, like, I don't want to hurt their feelings, because in reality, this is the reason why, that I'm doing this. So it's an interesting topic. I think it's really like life, right? Everything's about balance. You gotta find that right balance. And in this world, man, it's hard now, because it's not just about like I think a previous caller said, oh, sometimes you have a conversation with somebody and you automatically already know they're a airhead. Like some people now have become pretty good deceivers at that.
Yeah.
Like they'll convince you that they're into some shit that you're into, or that they're down for what you're down, and then 2-3 years down the road, you're like, what the fuck? This is what you said you were okay with, and now it's a problem. Now it's an issue. So that's why to me the dating piece is also a big factor. Like you got to be able to go through some struggles in a relationship to see how they react. I know I was with some person who at one point they were so used to me being financially secure that when I had like basically I found myself in a position where like, oh shoot, I might be without some work in the next 3 months, and they saw me just kind of relaxed and okay with it, you know, kind of taking a break on things, they were starting to panic. Like it was like a big thing. And I get it. Women want to feel secure. That's one of their big things, right? Women want to feel secure. They don't want to feel like the day of tomorrow they're going to come repo the car or they're going to come take possession of your home. And I get that. But to a certain extent, like it's about building together. And so I think the biggest piece that people miss all the time is that you get a lot of people that are like half complete, trying to complete each other. And that's not really the way that relationships work. Like you got to come as a whole. Like what have you done to establish yourself as a person? And when you come to a relationship, I'm not going to depend on you to make me happy. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They depend on the other person to make them happy. And then on top of that, they come into a relationship with their own agendas. And that shit will get you in trouble real quick, because when the agenda changes and shit is not stimulating you and shit is not stimulating you, then yeah, you get to that point where you're like, all right, well, I'm over this dude or I'm over this gal. But yeah, man, I think it's definitely, I think it's a ratio of a lot of things. But I think the intellectual part probably outweighs most of the part. I'm pretty sure that the beauty is up there with it. But if you can't intellectually push me and I can't intellectually push you, it's going to be a problem, because at one point someone's going to level up and it's going to be an issue, because that person is going to be either waiting on you to level up or be looking at you like, okay, so what the fuck? Are you stuck in the same situation? You're comfortable being where you're at right now. And so that's why they say, you know, not to marry so young, because you still got tons of life to live and tons of things to do. And I think that's another mistake that our generation makes. They get entangled too early, and they don't end up living. Like to this day, I don't understand like how somebody with their first love, you know, ends up getting married and that's it. And then later on down the road, I want to say my mom is probably an example of that. My mom, you know, fell in love with my dad, was probably her biggest love. They got married years down the road after having their 2 children, going into their 3rd child. It was like, yo, like, nah. Like, I wish I would have made, like, I hear them both speak, and it's like, I wish I would have waited, or I wish we would have waited to do some of these things and experience life a little bit more. And it's like, you see that regret in a lot of people as they grow older, and it's a shame, because it's true, man. Like, you really got to come as a whole into a relationship, and I think that to me is even more attractive than above everything else, when you see a whole person. But you got too many half whole people that are out there looking for these whole people, trying to get in a relationship with them, and it's like it's too much for them, and it becomes too much for them. And I've heard women complain about this before, talking about, you know, the inability to please someone who is a whole, because they're constantly looking to be pleased by a guy who is already pleasing himself. Like, he's already done everything he can for himself. He's established, and so he's just kind of looking to help you, but in a way you're looking for that person to want to need you, and sometimes that's not the case. Like, I made, like in my house, I made decisions not a lot of times without consultating. Like, I'm a very go-getter. Like, I see something, I know it should be done. I analyze everything that to benefit the family. Okay, it's gonna get done, and my wife has become accustomed to that. Like, she's become accustomed to that, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming, because you need that help, and you look sometimes for that help, and you're like, okay, well, you can see I'm handling a lot of shit, so at one point you expect them to like see that and want to help, right? So that's the other piece of it, right? As a whole person that maybe getting with another person that doesn't really know how to handle that all so good. So it's a balancing act, to be honest. Life is really that, and I've learned one thing. I think I heard one thing. Somebody say this, and it always stuck with me, that when you think you have the answers to life, like life will always switch up the questions. And so that's really like taught me how to live life. Like the fact that you might get to a certain point where you feel comfortable, you feel good, something's right on the horizon to change that shit up real quick. So you always got to be, I hate to use the word, but versatile. You got to be able to adapt quickly, and your family, I think the person with you got to be able to do that too. And so that's why that beauty part, if that mind doesn't match it, it is pretty much a waste. But anyways, man, that is my spill.
All right, well, Mr. Admin, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts on today's topic, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that was interesting. Man, that saying definitely, very interesting. When you think you know the answers, life will switch up the question. That's dope right there. What is it looking like? Are the Astros playing right now? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll figure it out. Oh, look at it. Look at this. Sweet berries coming here. Stealing already. Terrible situation. So, here's what's the deal. In those situations, we may run a little short, so we may do an hour and a half today. But, you know, says the guy. But, you know, I think attraction is important. And you got to look at it. You got to look at what it really means. Because, pardon me, I think, you know, from a distance, depending on how you're observing a person, again, like I say, you'll see different things. Sometimes it'll be looks, sometimes it'll be behavior, sometimes, again, it can be more, well, those are superficial things, but it can be more superficial, attire, dress, you know, things of that nature. But I do think you have to, you know, think long term with those things, because attraction is what brings people together. Physical attraction is what brings people together physically. But, you know, mistakes can be made, and you have to determine whether or not it's a good decision to do the things that you're doing with the individuals that you are doing. Hater, you're such a hater. But yeah, so, you know, there's that whole thing. But again, I kind of want to talk about, when we're talking about attraction and being attractive, and let's kind of talk about the mainstream. What society has deemed attractive. Because there's a lot of stuff that gets put out there. And again, like I say, people emulate the shit that they see on television. Because once somebody wears something, that lets them know, okay, hey, I got permission to fucking, I got permission to do this shit too, right? I got permission to dress like this now. That's what everybody's doing. I think we have a problem because what men and women think, I think this might not be necessarily attraction, but maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Appropriate, right? Attire, I guess you could say. Because we talk about, you know, how you're being perceived, how you're being interpreted, and it's funny because this is a conversation I've had with a lot of women, and I noticed that women get very upset when you say anything about how they dress, other than, oh my gosh, dear, you look amazing and stunning. If you are honest about certain things, well, it doesn't bode well for you if you're a man. But if you're so honest about certain outfits and, you know, the reactions that they'll elicit, that's also something I've seen a lot of women get upset about, right? And so what I mean by that is by saying, hey, you know, you can wear revealing attire if you want to, but don't get upset when you receive a certain level of attention that may make you uncomfortable, that may make you, wary. But I'm not saying it's appropriate that if that happens, but don't be surprised when it does. Because the things you wear can increase the likelihood of certain outcomes. And it works for men too. It works for everybody. The way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you're marketing yourself, the way you are advertising yourself is how people will perceive it. But I know that is a hot button issue with a lot of women is, because I was having a conversation with somebody about, hey, well, wearing that kind of thing. Yeah, you can wear it. And I'm not saying, we're not talking about, we're wearing that's going to get you raped, but you're going to get a lot more attention that you may not have liked. You think that everybody follows the rules? Fuck no. Do you think that predators follow a certain set of rules? Well, she should be allowed to wear whatever she wants. I'm not going to stalk her or anything like that. No. To them, you're presenting yourself almost as an easier target, or to somebody who's looking for some easy action. You're going to present yourself as, easy access. That may not be your intention. You may be a fucking virgin, but if you're carrying yourself like a whore, people are going to treat you like such. So, but what I meant by that, and I know it's kind of getting off track, but what I'm attractive about, what is appealing, what is appropriate attire and things like that. Because I think women nowadays dress more and more revealing. But if you say something about, that's just sex, it's just the way it is. Like, something that bothers me, something that bothers me like now is women's business attire, right? Because I don't think some women don't know what business attire, like business casual or business dress is like one thing. Like, you're not wearing fucking evening gowns and fucking all this shit to fucking business meetings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, why are you having these low plunging ads? Like, you're in a business environment where what most of the demographic is. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing something like that and then you complain about, they're not listening to me. Well, they're only staring. Well, you kind of opened it up for that. Like, we want things to operate by a certain set. It would be lovely if life was fair. But if that was the way it was, none of us would be complaining about anything. There would be no people upset today. But guess what? You turn on your TV, people complain about everything, top to bottom, left to right, because life is not fucking fair. People are always trying to make these progressive movements or whatever because they're trying to change things to get them right. So to sit here and say, well, it shouldn't be that way, well, maybe it shouldn't, but it is. I'll tell you honestly, if a woman's wearing something revealing, I don't care what's on her mind. I'm going to look. I'm going to see what it is. I'm like, okay, that's enticing, or she's dressed like a fucking whore. It's fucking disgusting, bitch. I'd hit it and never call her again. Like, some shit like that. But honestly, I would be less likely to take her opinion seriously. And that's just being honest. Like, if you're out here dressing, you fucking, like, say, your ass cheeks are hanging out, your titties fucking hanging out damn near to the area. Like, and I'm supposed to teach you respectably. Like, should I? Probably. I guess that's the right thing to do. But I'm a man before any of that. And if I'm seeing a bunch of enticing, tantalizing items, then I'm thinking I don't care about your fucking brain that I can't see. I'm not listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth, probably. And, you could say that's my fault for not having more discipline. Yeah, but you knew what the fuck you put on before you fucking put it on, right? So it's like, what kind of reaction. Women aren't stupid. And that's why I hate when people try to play that way. I've seen plenty of them. I've had cousins and aunts and aunties, uncles. Well, not uncles, they better not. But what they saying and what they're doing for you're in the mirror for fucking hours getting ready. You know exactly what's showing and what ain't showing. Like, there's never an act. A woman does not ever go out and look the way she looks accidentally. She knows exactly what is visible and what is not visible. I don't care if she's out in some fucking pajamas, a bonnet, and some fucking flip-flops. She knows exactly how she looks. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if her booty cheeks are out and extremely beautiful. She's still a whore. It's a whorish behavior. That's how I'm going to view it. Like, I'm say, okay, well, you're putting your ass out for everybody to see. You must be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly that's what it is. If you're advertising and everybody gets to see it, then I'm assuming it's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? No, that's terrible. I'd have to throw the whole uncle away. You know what I'm saying? Again, if she's at the beach, you can throw these little crazy caveats in there if you want to. There's appropriate attire for the beach, but let's not be ridiculous, because women use the beach as an excuse. I'll be out there wearing some fucking lingerie in the beach. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an excuse to do it. We use beach attire as an excuse. It's really fucking draws. It ain't no different. I still can see it all. You know? Okay. There's appropriate swimsuits. There's one pieces. There's swimsuits with little frilly things. If you're choosing to wear a fucking thong bikini and a little string, whatever, you're telling me exactly what I want. It's because you want to. It doesn't make it any different. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make, well, she's at the beach. Oh, okay, she's just like a beach hoe. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of attire you can wear to the beach and be appropriate and still be beach attire. There's whores on the beach. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of. I don't know, Cardi. I'm not attracted to men. I don't care what the fuck men do. Like, I don't like, that's for y'all to call in and speak on. Like, I am not concerned with the issues that men go through. Like, I don't know. Whatever they got, I don't know. Shit, I have no idea. You know, you say maybe they aren't their smart, pretty fair. Yeah, and that's the thing. People are going to lean towards their strength. Absolutely, John. I agree. People are going to lean towards their strengths. If people know that they're not the sharpest tool in the shed, but they are physically appealing, well, that's the things that's going to open doors for them. Then, hey, you do it. Here's my deal. Like I say, you got to do whatever you got to. I honestly don't care what anyone is doing. Okay, and what I mean by that, like, as long as you're not necessarily impacting my life in a negative way, then do what the fuck you want to do. But I live here on this planet, and if I see it, I'm going to comment on it. That's odd to me. That's different behavior. I don't like it. I think this leads to these consequences. I think it leads to these circumstances. I think that's just human nature. If you see a fucking, rabid dog walking around. I don't know why I've been on some rabid dog. I wonder, I need to check on Scott. I ain't seen him in a couple of days. Maybe it's one of he's doing in this house. But anyway, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna talk about it, you're gonna discuss things. How could this situation impact me? But if you start moving real quick, if there's danger coming towards you, as in society making radical changes that could impact your life, then you have to understand why and what the consequences are and how you should operate that. So I think things need to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. When I was in better shape, you'd be hard pressed to find a reason to keep a shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would definitely, when I was younger and in much more shape, it was purely wife beaters. I'm hooping, hey, skins versus shirt, hey, we skins. Like, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I had no reason to. I'm a flex. I'm gonna definitely show off. If you worked hard to get it, awesome. But here's the thing, like, there's also a difference. You can tell the difference in a person who has worked out, mainly women, because there's women who do this. Men who ain't in shape, well, if some of them, some fat niggas don't give a fuck. But for the most part, there are women who work out and they're in shape and showing up. Like, you can understand, like, respecting somebody's hard work. The majority of women, and y'all know where I'm leaning, because y'all know what demographic I pay attention to. It is what it is. Don't work out, and their bodies are not model-esque or the most pristine. I'm not saying they're not attractive to somebody, but you just want to show it off because it's going to get attention, because it looks easy access. It's not because, hey, look at the work I've done and I'm proud of myself, or you may be proud of just being who you are. Like, let me not be too judgmental. Be comfortable in your own skin, but most of it is wearing revealing shit just for fucking attention. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, that has nothing to do with me. I don't know if men want to wear dirty underwear with their pants down. There's a lot of women who like that. But see, here's the difference, though, right? Here's the difference between men and women. Like, a man will look at a chick who's dressed in a certain way like that and be like, I'm just trying to smash and dash, like, and not really want to make a commitment. A woman will see a dude like that and think about trying to build a life with the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how she can change it and things like that. So it's not necessarily the same. Like, and what I'm saying is that these are no-goes. As far as things that women do that they think are appropriate. Like, no man thinks that, hey, if I'm walking around, you know, and I'm sagging, I'm doing this, it's a certain type of nigga that does that, and that's their style. But no man sits there and thinks this is, you know, this is the style that, you know, this is the epitome of fashion. Niggas think a certain way. They think, you know, wearing high fashion off your ass is fashion. We all know what that is, you know. But men, I don't think men's fashion has changed like that. I guess I don't know how it works. But men's been basically with suits and ties, pants and shirts and shit. It's like it hasn't been that men's shirts have gotten more and more revealing over time, or more men are wearing weird. I don't know. Metrosexuals are weird, but I don't. Anyway, we can start turning this into different conversations. Like I said, it's just a different behavior. Like I said, what was, you know, and because men and women want different things, different outcomes of this stuff. So when we're talking about attraction, you know, women want to be able to get all the attention from the world and, you know, still feel like their man should give them the same level of attention, so they should be able to, you know, do a lot of things. Men aren't necessarily doing that. So that's what I say. There's certain things that are appropriate and inappropriate. Like, if a woman's dressed in a certain way before you met her, you know, some dudes may get with that chick, but they wouldn't be too keen on her wearing that type of stuff once they got with her. I don't think there's too many women who would want their man, if they got with him a certain way, but like, okay, well, now what you're wearing is too inappropriate to wear out in public with me. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yes, I wear deep V-necks, but not too deep so you can't see all the man boob. That's funny. You see, you never saw a black woman with really strong quads. I've seen some. Oh man, I've seen some. But the majority, I'm gonna be honest, the majority of black women aren't taking the best care of themselves, and we're gonna be frank and honest about it. Like, there are those who work out, but then you got those who, like, literally they say that they go to work, but they really just go to try to accentuate certain features, and it's not even about working out. It's not even really about health. It's about, hey, if I muscle up my butt or my thighs or something like that, then, you know, or if I already got these ass shots, I'm gonna try to make them look real. Then, you know, this will get me more attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some, but I think the majority of them, like, if you see it, like, it's a different weird thing that I've seen a lot of. So, you know, it's crazy stuff. I think the priorities are fucked up. Like, it's not about overall long-term complete physical health. It's more so, how can I get more attention? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see that approach with. And I'm not saying there aren't black women who care, but they're healthy, they're vegans, and they're doing all that other stuff. I'm just telling you, the majority, especially what's being pushed to the forefront, you know, it's a lot of fake and phony. But especially y'all's homegirl, you know, the one, y'all love her music so much, she got all the work done. All the fucking rap artists, all the fucking women getting work done. Like, I don't know. To me, like, all that shit is trash. Like, I like natural women. Like them titties don't sag a little bit. I don't look. What am I supposed to do with this? Huh? What am I supposed to do with this? This fucking hard tit. Punch the titty punch me back. I don't want this fucking device you got on your chest. What am I supposed to do with this shit? Like, a lot of this shit that women do, honestly, is for themselves. It's not really even about being attracted to other men. Hiring for a new head coach, man, I'm not even on trip, because the candidates I like won't be available right now. So we'll see closer towards the end of the season, and then it'll be a little bit more interesting to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to your honesty, bad bougie. You know what I'm saying? Send me the statistics to prove it, because I'm going by what I have seen in my time and the things that women do. But yeah, y'all don't go to work. Y'all don't go to work out. So I'm gonna do weird shit. We got about 10 more minutes. Like I said, we're gonna cut short a little bit early. Where was I going? I was rambling and ranting. I was doing some other stuff. You said the people that used to clown kickers for wearing skinny jeans are now wearing skinny jeans. I guess that's the thing. I guess that's the thing. It's all weird. Everything's weird. I guess that could be the change, that men are wearing skinnier clothing now. I don't know. Cause I look back at some of the old shit. Motherfuckers used to do in the early 2000s, right around that age, late 90s, early 2000s. It was terrible. It was horrible. The fucking super big shorts, the fucking super big fucking tall tees, just clothes that were ridiculously too large. It was fucking crazy. And honestly, I don't know, bro. It's all bad because I may say that like I hate some of this skinny jean shit, but at least niggas are wearing more fitted clothing than that fucking crazy shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't ever see a woman go to the gym in no fucking sweatpants and a baggy shirt ever. It's always tight ass yoga pants. It's always some like shit. And even the ones that don't be in shape, especially all of them wear them fucking, y'all all got them fucking leggings. You know what I'm saying? The leggings with fucking, the little see-through shit in them. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing that shit all the time. Like, why? Why would you do that? It's not making you aerodynamic or nothing. You know, what is the point of having a little see-through exposure of flesh on the side of your fucking leggings? You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's supposed to be a tool to get in shape. You're trying to get in shape. Everybody got them motherfuckers be wearing that shit to the store and shit. So it's for attention. You know what I'm saying? Because it just is what it is. Yeah, skin type fucking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking circulation getting cut off and shit. Be passing out on the fucking treadmill. But nah, you know, like I said, but that's what people do. People want attention. People like attention. I see motherfuckers go all the time. Like I said, this little track I run at. Fucking see the chick literally go get on a track, walk to a certain part of the track, take a fucking picture, and walk off. Like didn't even complete a whole fucking lap. Like walked to a spot, sat there about 5 minutes, take the pictures. I seen it as I was running around. Like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? I got there, passed him by. I was like, wow. And then that motherfucker went and left. Like, people do that shit. A shit ton. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are weird. Like, people are fucking, they're fucking real strange. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it is what it is. So here's the deal as I get ready to wind down. I'll be in the Discord, though. I'm going to have to take care of a couple things. So I'll be in the Discord and voice chat after the stream. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias. I don't even think I do have those up. I got to fix that, too. I have to switch this thing up. I don't have them on there. Yeah, don't I have them on there? No, I don't think I do. At Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Then show live on Facebook. All the links you need are in the description below. And then, like I said, yeah, we're gonna figure something out. Clearly, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm tired of this fucking seat. I need a couch in here, some shit, and some shelves. I was mad. I fucking had ordered some shelves, and then they fucking sent them to me. They ain't had the fucking screws to go with them. Like, I don't want the fucking shelves if I don't have the fucking screws, right? That's a bit of a problem. Now I gotta drive out of my way and then fucking that was a fucking further home. I don't want to do that. Instagram. Oh, the debate is tonight, isn't it, John? Thank you for reminding me. We'll probably be watching that in the Discord. Just Sarah, appreciate the love. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Just Sarah. I appreciate the love and support. Yeah. But other than that, slide in Discord, slide in the voice chat. Like I said, I got to get in here and take care of a couple of things. But I appreciate you guys coming through. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Like I said, dropped a recorded video. Planning on trying to drop another one this evening. And again, if you're in the sauce, you already know how that's going to go. So, Chunk with Deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. And there's the let the love show on the screen. I'll take that line off of there. And like I said, we'll be in the Discord. I don't know what time the debate is. I'll post it in the Discord so let everybody know what time we'll get active. Excuse me. Good grief. I broke my streak, man. I did really, really good, right? I'm really mad about that. I did like really good. I always cut the screen off anytime I sneeze. I didn't have the time to do it. It would have been really ugly. I would have sneezed on everything. I'm very upset about that. I'm very upset about that. I'm angry. That would always be my thing. Fucking, I'd always cut the camera off before I fucking sneeze. Now I'm gonna have like fucking 10 years of bad luck. I broke my little voodoo woo woo thing. I'm very upset. Very upset. That was like a thing from the sauce and the den. I was pretty good at always cutting the fucking camera off when I sneeze. Now I'm angry. Oh well. I'll catch y'all in a little bit. Y'all be cool. I mean, I forgot how to change the thing. I don't even got the outro thing in here. All right, I'm finished. I appreciate y'all for coming through, and yeah, until next time. Adios, amigos. Yeah, I literally blew it. I'm just terrible. Now the whole room got the Rona. I'm gone.